Bouchard type goal. Brilliant individual effort, and it's tied as we head into sudden death overtime. And really, as I watch that replay of Kaminsky, it brings back visions of the Rocket and some of his big clutch goals with the Canadians back in the 50s.
Climbing and clawing his way through the defense to get his shot on goal. A couple of items to clean up here as we go into the overtime. This game has been tied 4 different times tonight. The game on Friday night, the first game of the final, also tied 4 times. That's how close it has been. 2 overtime games. The Soviets tied it up on Friday night with 2:27 to play. Tonight at 1:04 to play. And one other note, Wayne Gretzky, who is the tournament scoring leader, has assisted on the goal scoring leader in the tournament. 7 of his 9 goals. Mario Lemieux has 9 goals. Gretzky assists on 7 of those.
This game being seen by a large part of the world this evening.
Wonder what they're thinking about as they watch this in Malaysia and Thailand, down in New Zealand. They play hockey there. New Zealand, that is.
Here we go with sudden death. Messier winning the face-off, but it's immediately into the Soviet zone. Batista trying to clear it. Bork held it in. Now Anderson in on the boards. Batista goes back the other way to Kasatonov, to Makarov down right wing. Makarov moving in, leaving it there. Here's Krutov, put it in front, and Dior came out and Krutov tripped over it. Back comes Canada. Here's Anderson moving in on right wing. Glenn Anderson to Messier. Messier back of the net. Messier trying to drop it back, and it comes into center ice. Mark Messier to Bork of the Boston Bruins for Team Canada. Now to Anderson to Messier. Messier in with Lemieux, and they whistle that down and an outside. Lemieux in ahead of the play over on right wing.
Just a step as he got a little over anxious. Messier coming in over the line. You'll see short chips. Good chance, of course, anytime you see Makarov and Krutov out there. And Krutov with that speed got around the defense. Bork just leaning back, trying to get enough of a stick on Krutov's stick to prevent any play. And the puck wound up in the corner.
You see the scoring leaders, topped by Gretzky with 18 points. Here are the Soviets firing it around on the boards. Gusarov cleared it in. Loose puck in front, but as soon as the Team Canada player touched the puck, the play is called an icing call, and it will come back down deep into the Soviet end of the ring.
Well, we mentioned the fatigue factor during the third period. There's a stretch there where Team Canada did not look fatigued at all. As a matter of fact, it looked like the Soviets might have been fatigued. But I would think, the longer we go in this, I think if Team Canada had its druthers, they'd like to get the goal early.
Gretzky, Goulet, and Lemieux ready on a face-off. Beckhoff against Gretzky. Gretzky the draw. Back on the point. Shot is up high. Over top of the net as Crossman let it go. Soviets clear it. Here's Crossman to Paul Coffey. He cleared it. Soviets hustling back to touch the puck, and it's going to be icing against Canada. And now the pressure on Canada with a big face-off in their end of the ring.
Well, we'll see how the Soviets send out for this face-off. They make the changes. They're well aware of the... We watched Tikhonov on the bench, Soviet Union. See the big guy standing behind him. I asked Igor Dmitriev who the fittest guy and the strongest guy on his team. The guy standing right behind Tikhonov is the trainer. He's been coming here for years. And he says, that guy's the strongest guy on our team.
Scored the overtime winner in Montreal on the face-off, and Messier wins the draw. Bork has it for Canada. Bork trying to move it out of there, dropping it back with a little pass to Anderson. Now to Gartner. Gartner moving in. Gartner shoots. Now shaking the save, but no chance as he throws that. And Anderson went barging in to try and get a loose puck.
I think in this overtime you're going to see a lot of whistles. We went long stretches where the play was constantly in. But here, Belosheikin's not going to take any chances. He just covers it up, really with a man of his own right there, but with Team Canada moving in. So you've had a couple of icings. We've had about 4 whistles here in the first minute and 29 seconds of the period. And, of course, each time a whistle comes, each team makes a change.
Canada sending out Gretzky, Lemieux, and Goulet. Soviets counter with Imchinov, Pryakin, and Humalev.
Soviets have got the last change here as the home team, but they don't bother matching. And I asked again Dmitriev, who has become the spokesman rather than Tikhonov for the hockey club, said, have you ever tried to kind of match lines? He says, yes, we tried. At one point in the first game we tried, and every time we tried, Keenan sent Gretzky out. So he says, we just gave up.
Now Gretzky comes to talk to the referee about something.
That was Dmitriev, by the way, you saw in the foreground of the picture on the bench. Some say he will eventually be the head coach of the Soviet national team, which I guess will make things a lot easier on the reporting staff, because he speaks German fluently and some English.
Here's Gretzky against Nemchinov deep in the Soviet zone. We played a minute 29 of overtime, and they're going to toss Nemchinov out of there. And they'll have to send in someone else to take the face-off.
That's the Swedish linesman we have, Sven-Olof Lundström. He's not putting up with any nonsense.
Humalev against Gretzky. Gretzky the draw into the corner, but Lemieux was going the other way. And Nemchinov breaks out for the Soviets. Broken up by Crossman. Flip back near the Soviet line. Kasatonov is there. And Pryakin dumps it in for the Soviet Union. Paul Coffey back to get it. To Mario Lemieux. Held in at the point by Fetisov. Again, Fetisov holding it in, but now carrying up is Michel Goulet. Goulet scooping it in. And then Goulet gets checked from behind, and he's shaken up. No sign of a penalty being called, but Goulet is injured.
He got a stick across the face as he unloaded the shot into the corner, and he just went down like he'd been poleaxed. You know, when you get a stick around the eyes like this, just checking on, looked like it rode up on him. There it is. Took it right across the face. And so he's checking to see if all of the ivories are there or not.
It was Pryakin who got the stick up on Goulet, number 22.
That's one of those plays where you're checking and trying to poke and interfere with the player. It happens sometimes. Everything seems to be there.
Now Messier back out there with Anderson and Gartner. Face-off at the Soviet line. The Soviets' big five out there. Larionov, Makarov, and Krutov with Fetisov and Kasatonov on defense. Canada shoot it in. Kasatonov trying to clear it. Bork pinching in. Bork shot blocked, and the Soviets get it to Krutov. Krutov working in. And a good defensive play by Murphy to break it up. And here's Anderson into center ice to Messier. He gets tied up, and Bork circles back for Canada. Bork clearing it into center, into the Soviet zone, and Kasatonov is back after it. He's checked by Gartner. It's knocked back of the net, but Fetisov is there. And here come the Soviets. Krutov to Larionov. Murphy tips it away for Canada. Messier took a man out of the play, and here's Anderson. Anderson ahead to Messier, called back on the two-line offside pass.
There's Mark Messier, a monumental figure. If I were going to pick one player who has been there every game from the opening bell to this point in the tournament, it would be Mark Messier. This is the 8th game of the tournament. He has played every shift the same way. We mentioned earlier in the telecast how intimidating he is.
Here the Soviets with a long shot. Pure handling it, and Coffey has it for Canada. Coffey out to Lemieux. To Gretzky. Gretzky breaking in with Howardchuk. Pass to Howardchuk, just tipped by the Soviet defense. Bekov back the other way. 2-on-2 break. Bekov trying to go around Coffey. Slides it in front. Still loose at the side of the goal. Now back of Team Canada's net. And Canada come up with it, and here's Lemieux getting it out of the zone. Soviets with Kamensky. To Homotov. He's checked by Lemieux. Lemieux is too well tied up, and here's Kamensky. Moves in, shoots. Pure save on Kamensky, and then Crossman cleared it up over the glass. As we approach the 4-minute mark of overtime.
Very tense here in the Copps Coliseum in Hamilton. 5-5 in overtime. Little closer to the vest now. Each team afraid to make a mistake. We've watched people like Crossman's just sitting down there having big games. Team Canada with a chance here. Gretzky trying to feed it across. I don't know whether he should have taken the shot, but that defenseman was down, and he's the one that deflected it. I think Gretzky could see the play, and Howard Chuck on the other side just never got the puck.
Sutter winning a faceoff, gets it to Gilmore, he can't get it out. Lomakin trying to center, and Rochefort has it for Canada. Team Canada trying to break it out of there. Patrick into center ice to Sutter. Sutter check, it's knocked back in, and Rochefort goes back for Canada. Firing it out on the boards to Brent Sutter. He missed it. And Semyonov will have to chase back. Semyonov, number 30, fires it to center. Patrick knocks that down. Rochefort comes out and makes a play. Now Gilmore takes a man out of the play, and here's Sutter. But Semyonov intercepts his pass. Firing it back in, and Murphy goes back to get it. Larry Murphy. To center ice, fires it in. Batisov is there to clear it. Now held in by Gilmore. Lomakin getting it, and the Soviets break out. Into center ice, Humalak. A long shot. Pure got a piece of it, a ricochet to the corner. Now Lenchinov holding it in, but Bork is there to clear it. Humalak held it in. Into the corner. Ryakin can't center it, and Bork has it for Canada. Bork to Messier, just missed him with it. Soviets Pryakin. Showed it back in. Murphy is there. Off the boards to Gartner. Gartner to Anderson. Glenn Anderson into center ice. To Gartner. Shot it in. Soviets clear it right back out. Kasatonov into center ice to Makarov. He played it off the boards. And Canada's Crossman back to clear it. Larionov lets it go to Batisov. Shot blocked. Now Gretzky trying to break out, just missed Lemieux with a quick outlet pass, and down the ice it goes. Kasatonov trying to clear one. Poppy breaks it up, over to Goulet. Goulet for Canada, giving it to Gretzky, and drop to Lemieux. Rebound Gretzky, that's knocked off the puck. And Kasatonov has it for the Soviets to Makarov. Mario Lemieux for Canada, flips it back in. Batisov there to pick it up. Now up to Larionov. Ed Manning at the Kasatonov. Soviets move in. Here's a chance. Centered. Pure gets a rebound. Pure's got that too. From Krutov, who twice just about ended this game.
Well, the defense got caught. And I think that the Soviets can be accused of getting a little too fancy on the play. Krutov had their best chance. Here we come. Kasatonov. There's the pass across the goal mouth by Larionov when he might have been able to shoot himself, and then the backhand shot with Pure down. But Pure never seems to lose track of the puck. Even down, he's looking at it, concentrating, and knocking it out of midair and putting his glove on it.
Soviets have outshot Canada here in overtime. 6-2. Big face-off coming up deep in Canada's end of the ring. Brent Sutter will take it for Canada against Bekov for the Soviet Union. Now they get ready for the face-off. Howard Chuck getting into position. It's Sutter, Gilmore, and Howard Chuck for Canada. Bekov wins the draw. Gilmore back of his own net. Gilmore flipped it, knocked down by Komatov, centered it out in front, still loose, another shot, and Pure had to come up big again, centered once more. There is a shot, Gilmore blocks that. Sutter for Canada, trying to clear up to Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck breaking in on right wing, that's Gilmore with him, gives it to Gilmore, shoots, double shake into his knees to stop Doug Gilmore. And then a big pileup.
Well, Canada has only had the 3 shots in the period now, but they have been 3 pretty good chances. Nice little drop pass there. Howard Chuck to Gilmore. Mentioned how Gilmore played in that third period, still very much involved. Now a big face-off down on the Soviet end.
We played 6:29 of overtime. And Canada sending out a new line. Gretzky, Lemieux, and Goulet. Semyonov will take the face-off here for the Soviets. Sudden death overtime. If Canada wins, we have a third game. If the Soviets win, they win the 1987 version of the Canada Cup. Semyonov against Gretzky. Big face-off to the left of the Soviet goal. Here's Lemieux getting it, chips it into the other corner. Lemieux in to get it again to Gretzky, out in front for Gretzky. Back to Crossman, shoots one, Bellows shaking the save. Goulet the rebound, Gretzky couldn't get to the puck as Padotov tied him up. And the Soviets then clear it out of there. Coffey going back, close call there for Canada. Coffey to Crossman, to Goulet at center. Michel Goulet moving in. Tied up by Padotov. Goulet to the corner. In comes Lemieux. And Canada forced another face-off in the Soviet zone.
Get those face-offs down there. That's what they're trying to do. Now, off the face-off, they had that good sequence. Now they'll try it from this side of the ice. Goulet piling into the corner after that puck, but everybody's playing it tough right now. Goulet running his man in against the boards. That was Pervukin, who the oldest guy on the Soviet team at 31.
Now Gilmore, Howard Chuck, and Brent Sutter for Canada. Face-off, one by Gilmore to Howard Chuck to Coffey. Fires it into the corner. The Tisov is there. Howard Chuck checks him. Now to Gilmore, but he had been knocked down behind the net. Soviets on the boards. Gilmore centers. Intercepted by Humalef, and now Tisov clears to center. Crossman back to get it. Crossman to Howard Chuck. This is Sutter with it into the other corner. Priakin back for the Soviets. Priakin checked to the play as Howard Chuck moves in into Brent Sutter. Sutter trying to center. Down to the boards. Coffey pinching in. Coffey into the corner. Couldn't get it back. And Kasatonov clears it out of there down the ice. Canada's Murphy going back. He's going to let Coffey play the puck, and it's icing against the Soviets.
And another face-off in the Soviet zone. Five. That's Nemchinov, number 12, having a little battle here with Howard Chuck. Now this was just a lot of the referee looking right on Howard Chuck. Now you're not going to, like any game, this kind of stuff you're going to get away with in an overtime. It's just a lot of holding going on. Nobody wants to let anybody get away from them. Howard Chuck saying, boy, tough sledding out there.
Messier, Anderson, and Gartner now for Canada. Larionov, Makarov, and Krutov for the Soviets. And now at the last second, Gusarov wants to go to the Soviet bench and get a new stick.
Pretty good defenseman, this Gusarov. Defensive style defenseman, but he's one of those guys that can really rough it up, play tough.
Messier on the face-off with Larionov. Soviets come up with it, and Krutov beats Makarov. He gets to center. Anderson tying him up, and Canada take control. Late pass to Gartner. He moves in, and Gusarov took him out of the play. On to the other side, Stelnov flipping it out, and Krutov just clears it down the ice. With Bork back for Canada. We're in sudden death overtime as Bork carries to center to Mike Gartner. Gartner speeding in, cuts in front. launches into the goaltender. Now Messier knocked down, and Krutov cleared it right in front of his own net. But the Soviets are there and come to center. Here's Krutov getting the return pass, waving it from Makarov. Checked from behind by Anderson. Back comes Gardner. Gardner to Messier. He tips it in. Canada change on the fly. Soviets Larionov flipping it into center. Here's Makarov. Trying to get away from Gulai. Does. Makarov. Checked by Lemieux from behind. Lemieux stays with him. Makarov loses to Lemieux. And Mario Lemieux feeds Gretzky. Gretzky into Goulet. Goulet to Lemieux. Lemieux can't get turned around. Now does behind the net to Gretzky. Knocked away from Gretzky. And breaking out Fedotov. To Homatop, number 15. Homatop stick handling brilliantly. Cross to Kaminsky. Shooting right on. And Fjord the save and back the other way. Lemieux with Goulet. 2-on-2 break. Lemieux cruising, looking to center, does. Deflected and went wide. And Bekov has it for the Soviets. Here's Kaminsky. Loses it. Gretzky back in the power check. Power check trying to center to Sutter. Still at the side of the net. Loose and Kaminsky. Back for the Soviets. To Bekov. Broken up and Coffey takes over for Canada. Paul Coffey streaking down left wing. Coffey shoots up high over the glass.
Oh. How long can this go on? Team Canada, with its life on the line as a team, they lose this game and it breaks up when they head to their own training camps, and they're playing like it. Paul Coffey. Nobody is more exciting in the NHL on an end-to-end rush than Paul Coffey these days. Over the line, and there's the shot. It's deflected.
Shots on goal in overtime favor the Soviets 9-3.
That's deceptive, Dan. I think that the play has been a little closer than that.